Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am in kind of a different setting. If you could see, we finally got some furniture in our house. So to break it in, I wanted to film right here in our living room. And we have our love seat here, and if I can show it, a couch there. So, because things are not hectic per se, but everyone has work schedules, I doubt I'll be able to film in the crochet corner like I want to. So I will have to make do here. And sorry about the lighting. It is pretty late in the day, and I can't get any natural lighting. So we are going to make do with what we have, and let's just get right into it. This is episode, is it 10? I believe episode 10 of the Crochet Corner podcast, and my name is Kai and I am your host today. I am in the living room, so that means I have my brother out here playing his video game and my dogs running around. Brody just actually got caught in the kitchen. So yeah, any noises like that, it is pretty late, so everyone is up. Okay, that's that. Before we get into the rest of the podcast, I do sort of have some admin things. Our filming schedule is going to be changing. Thursday, having a podcast on Thursday. I'm going to be instead doing them on Sundays, because if you watched the last video I posted, I said I wanted to start using a new schedule. Hold on, the lens is dirty and it's bothering me. 1 second. I wanted to start implementing a new schedule that will get me prepared for when I do go back to college. So I'm going to be posting 3 times a week on Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. I took out Saturday because anyway, that's irrelevant. Just I'm going to be posting 3 times a week. Wednesday will be dedicated to Let's Talk. Friday I will be doing live streams, and Sunday I will be uploading podcasts. And that's going to be our new schedule starting next week. So yeah, don't expect a podcast on Thursday. Expect one to be uploaded on Sunday. And join me for a live stream at around, I have to drop my youngest brother off at summer school at about 7:30. So when I get home, get situated, please be expecting a podcast around 8 o'clock a.m. That is PST. So on Friday, 8 o'clock a.m. PST. I do have yarn mail, and I do have prizes. So what I'm going to do is, I didn't bring any of that over. I'm going to ask my brother to bring it to me. Noah, can you do me a favor? Those 2 boxes in that chair, and then there's a box on the other side of you. Can you bring it to me? Thank you. Grazie. And then there's a brown box that's right over there as well. Thank you. And then the blanket that's on the chair. No. The blanket that's on the computer chair. He's an awesome bro. Do you want to make a cameo? No? You want to say hi to the podcast? Okay. Okay. I have everything. So I don't have any tea. I don't know where my mug is, so I can't enjoy any tea. But that's okay. Firstly, I want to start with, I really want to show the yarn mail. So this is really out of order. I never have any like specific order to what I do on the podcast, but I really want to show the yarn mail because Charlotte did reach out to me and asked me if I got the blanket. I'm still replying back to emails after my R&R. So I am going to start with Charlotte's blanket first. Charlotte did, this is more of an adult size blanket to me, and guys, it's absolutely gorgeous. So I won't even be able to show it all on screen, but this is definitely an adult size blanket, and she did it in granny stripes. A granny stripe blanket, and it is thick, it is warm, and I know whatever parent is gonna get this is gonna love this. And this is from Charlotte. Charlotte, thank you so much for your donation. I'm sorry it took me so long to get back to you, but I did receive your package like 2 weeks ago. And I meant to put up a video about it, but things had gotten away from me. So this blanket is from Charlotte. Thank you, Charlotte. This is the first blanket we got for an adult. Because if you know about our blanket drive, you know that we are going to be donating to the ICU at UMC for the parents. Our second blanket comes from Marianne, and like usual, Marianne includes beautiful packaging. I'm not going to show her number, but hold on. This is the, one second, I want to show all her information. Hold on. The packaging, and then on the flip side it says this. And thank you so much, Marianne. And she has included some blankets as well. This one is beautiful. This is a simple granny stripe blanket. Perfect. Actually, it's not a granny stripe. It's a granny stitch. But like the way it's made is super duper cool. It looks like, you know, like she did a granny like rectangle. It's not a square, but it's in, I know this color, this is my favorite red heart color. This is in Icelandic, and I love this color. And then in charcoal right here, two of my very favorite colors, so I have a special place in my heart for this blanket. And Marianne always includes washing instructions and what type of yarn it is, which I really like. Then she also included this really cute and fun blanket. This, I'm not sure, the white in this, if you look here, is baby, it's Econo yarn from Bret Hart. And this is the blanket. Oh my gosh. I don't know what this specific pattern is called, but yeah, this is beautiful, and she used such beautiful colors. This kind of reminds me of the Beautiful Shells blanket, but definitely different stitch. I'm gonna have to learn that stitch. It could be the virus stitch. I saw a lot of people doing the virus blanket. She also included some knickknacks for me. She included a little package of rubber bands and pencil grips, which she instructed me on how to use them to put on my crochet hook. And I had done that. That's why I don't have it on me, because it is in the crochet corner attached to a hook. And also she included a stitch marker, which I also don't have on me. Our third package comes from Shirley, and this is also yarn mail, but it doesn't have anything to do with our blanket drive. So included in here, Shirley has very kindly donated a prize for our crochet along. And I just wanted to show you guys that this is it's called mercerized cotton, and I haven't done any research on what mercerized cotton is, but it comes in, let me read the packing, 120 yarn balls, and she included 6 of them. So I'm not too sure whether I want to split them up because I do want 4 winners. Split them up in groups of 2 or split them up in groups of 3, or just gift this whole entire bag of mercerized cotton to one winner. I haven't decided exactly what I'm gonna do with that, but along with any prizes that are donated, I will also be putting in something of my own. So yeah, this is from Shirley, our first prize into the prize cow. Thank you, Shirley, so much. I really appreciate you. So that's going to be set off to the side. And she also included gifts for me and for my mom. So here she has typed me a letter. She says, "Hello, Kai. Congrats on your first cow. In honor of that are enclosed 6 balls of orange mercerized cotton for the prize drawing. Also enclosed are 2 hanks of Cascade Sunseeker. The blue hank is for your mother, so she won't take yours, and the purple hank is for you. In light of you designing garments, enclosed are 2 balls of Debbie Bliss DK weight wool blend yarns, 109 yards each, for you to learn how to blend halves. Halves. The wool blend will help stabilize your completed garments. Thank you for all you do." Thank you, Shirley. So I'm gonna save the hanks for last, and I'm gonna show you the enclosed Debbie Bliss yarn. So this is Debbie Bliss Mia. It is wool cotton. The color is 51020, dye lot 526, and this is a mauve pink, more of a pink, but it reminds me a little bit of mauve if it was a little bit darker. And this one is 51022, dye lot 526, in a beautiful light gray color. So I definitely haven't figured out what I'm gonna do with this. I have if this is the right size, weight, and kind, I have a raglan knit sweater that I'm attempting to knit, and I already have 4 balls of Cascade yarn that looks similar to this, but just because it looks similar doesn't mean it's similar, and then some Patton's wool yarn that is the exact same of my Cascade yarn. And if this is the same, this will also be going into my sweater. I hope to have my sweater done before I go to school because it does get cold in Reno. And the most exciting thing are the hanks that she included as well. So this is Cascade Yarns Sunseeker, and this is purple, but the color is it's called Sunseeker Purple. And a lot of indie dyers call this sparkle a Stellina base. And a little bit about the yarn as I'm reading. It's 237 yards, 47% cotton and 48% acrylic, 5% metallic yarn. So this one's for me. And this one is in Sunseeker blue, and it's the exact same, and this one is for my mom. And when I showed it to her, she personally said that she wanted to crochet with it, and I am not allowed to crochet her something with it. So thank you so much, Shirley. This is a thank you also from my mom. She says, I've never owned fancy yarn before, so you can't crochet with it for me. I have to do it myself. So definitely will be giving you guys updates on whatever project that she chooses with her yarn. So thank you so much. Unfortunately, I won't be able to use this until I get a ball winder. No, it's that spinny. I have a ball winder. I just need a swifter. I don't know what it's called, but you guys probably know what I'm talking about because I have a horror story to tell you guys in our anything else section. And I'm not even gonna go get it because every time I look at it, it makes me so upset. So I'm just gonna tell you guys the story, and then once I get it sorted out, I'll show it to you. So that is all for our yarn mail. I want to thank Charlotte, Marianne, and Shirley especially Shirley for donating to our cow. I am super excited, and the 28th is fast approaching. I need to get on my P's and Q's so that I can get the pattern uploaded and all that jazz. So pray for me. Secondly, I want to go straight into finished objects. And this is concerning the blanket drive. I said that I was going to have 2 blankets done on Thursday, but I did not get the second blanket done. I'm still working on it, but I have finished, and I haven't woven in any ends, so it's looking kind of raggedy. I have finished this one. This is a Sunburst Granny Square blanket with 5 strands. Wait, let me count. I bought a gigantic hook, and I held, let us see, I held 4 strands together, and I achieved this look. And the border is a shell border. So yeah. And this is my donation into the blanket drive. It is very long. It comes way past more past my knees than I expected, but that's okay. So that's my first one. And when I get to my works in progresses, I'll show you guys the second one that I was working on. I still have to weave in the ends and wash this. I have another finished object that I recently did because I am thinking, I'll discuss this more in our anything else, but I'm really diving into designing my own patterns. So I have been just creating things, and I have a lot of cotton yarn left over, so I thought it would be really appropriate. So this is a top that I made, and it's still, I haven't even woven in the ends. For summer, I have to do a border around around the front, so around the shoulder pieces and down the bust. I also have to do a border around the arms, and then I have to make it longer. The only issues that I have with this is the type of decreasing I did for the to create the 2. Let me put it on. I have it all sewn, and then I'll go through my issues one by one. Let me just scoot this back. Okay, so I'm going to stand up. It's too short. That's also a major problem. And so I need to, let me raise this a little more, do a border around here. The types of decreases that I did here kind of made it looks okay because it looks kind of like a heart, but it's definitely a little too low, like my bra is here. So I'm going to do a border around to get rid of these 2 little flaps that are poking out. I also have to take in the sides because it's way too big on me. It's way too big on me. So that's a good thing, because that means that the less chains that I'm needing, the more weight that I'm losing. And I don't know if I can show the design, but I'm gonna try. There's a design on the back. This part's perfect. Okay, I will show the design in more in depth, but let me lower this. It is way too short. My stomach does not stop there, it stops farther. So I'm definitely going to make it longer. And when I redo the pattern, it has to be smaller. It's too big. It's really baggy. So that was that. This was one of my finished objects. and it's sort of made like the cover up where but I made it in two panels. This is the design on the back in case you couldn't see. So I made it in two separate panels. The back piece up until the design is straight double crochet. The front piece was actually made exactly how it is. So I didn't cut my yarn and attach it to make the front. I just made the whole entire front piece like how I wanted it to look. And then I sewed up then what I had to do was, once I got to a certain point on the back, I had to start decreasing so that it would come up and meet the two shoulder sides on here. So yeah, that is my finished object that I will be perfecting for a reason I will explain in our anything else segment. So that's all that I have for finished objects. Excuse me. So now I want to get into my works in progress. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. So I have definitely picked up some old projects, and you guys are going to be so surprised because I'm not just showing them. I have actually been working on them. So the first one I want to show is my triangle granny triangle shawl. The last time I showed this, I was still on this color, and now I'm on the final color block of the mandala, and this is Centaur, and I'm on the final color block, and I'm going to be using all of this yarn up. It is getting considerably big. It's not shawl length. The sad thing is I don't think it's going to get as big as I want it to be, and they have no mandala in my area. So as big as the yarn is going to take it is what I'm going to have to settle for, because there's no way for me to, excuse me, get mandala yarn anywhere. Which is pretty sad, but you know, it is what it is. I just can't wait to have this off my hook. So yeah, I'm definitely going to try to finish that before Sunday. The second whip that you guys haven't seen in a while is my my first ever knitted shawl, and this is the progress that I've gotten. Here's my stitch marker, and this is what I've done. I am almost on the, how many color blocks? 4th color block of this one. So I'm here, and the next color block is gray. So I'm almost on the 4th color block. And then I was actually working on it earlier, so I have a little bit of stitches on my needles. This is Lion brand yarn, and it is in the color Sphinx, I believe. I hope I didn't get those mixed up. And these are those terrible boy needles that I was telling you guys about, these 6s. And they work perfectly for this project, so they don't bother me not one bit. And that, I have to make some more project bags, but I keep my shawl, my knitted shawl, in my strawberry backpack, and which is serving as my project bag. And this is a pattern that I got from one of my favorite crochet YouTubers, Dana B. And I will, if I remember, link her channel down below so that you guys can make your own strawberry backpack. She has a lot of great tutorials as well for anyone who's interested. So, yep. Thirdly is my socks. I haven't made that much progress on my BS socks, but from the last time that you've seen them, I haven't moved the stitch marker at all, and I'm just keeping them in a Ziploc bag because that's the easiest way for me to keep like the yarns managed. And I have not moved the stitch marker, but from the last time that you guys saw them, I was here, and now I am here. I've made that much progress since that last time. I really haven't knitted on these a lot. I'm trying to get them off soon because I really want to start on the second one. And with the second one, I'm really thinking about reversing. So I'm going to reverse the toe and the foot. And I'm going to have mix match socks. I call them mix match. I'm going to have mix match socks. So that's what I'm doing. And this is one side. This is the other side. And these are on a size US 1 needles. And these are the Chalgu needles that I got from Shirley. And this Progress Keeper I got from Marianne. So thank you, Marianne. Thank you, Shirley. And the yarn also comes from Shirley and Bernadette. So I really hope to be casting on the second sock at least before I go to school. Now I have other needles that were gifted to me, but they currently have a sock project on them that I've been knitting more monogamously on. So I'm gonna, once I get this sorted out, I'll show you. I really hope to have these done before I go to school, but I'm pretty slow at it since it is my first time knitting socks. That's okay. And my second pair of socks that I have on my needles are actually 2 at a time socks. Give me 1 second. They are 2 at a time socks. I got a message. And this yarn is from Shirley, and Brody tore up the label, and she did send me a picture of it, but since I use my phone to record, I can't really reference. I do apologize. But this I'm doing 2 at a time. And the last time I talked about these socks, you guys know that I had this gigantic tangle in it, which looks like is making a return. So let's see if I can, oh no, I sorted it out pretty quickly. Let me just, hold on, I have to sort out this tangle because I really do not want to cut my yarn again. For this one, I had, how many balls of this? I think I only had one. Yeah, I only had one of this. So I caked it up into 2 very different sizes so that I could do 2 at a time socks. So once I run out of the smaller one, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And I keep it in this plastic bag, which is very, very convenient. So I was in the middle of a row. Oh wow. Okay, so I've done all the toe increases for the sock, so I'm not increasing anymore. I am just straight out knitting. And these I also got from Shirley. She sent me a packet of them. I have to finish this row, but this is what, once I finish it, I'll show you what they're looking like. But these this process has definitely been a challenge for me, because I messed up one of the socks very badly because I had forgotten to increase on one sock. So I had to take one of them off, and it was going well until I got to a certain part, and then it all got screwed. So this is what it's looking like thus far. And then I had accidentally did a twisted left leaning increase. So this is the messed up sock. It doesn't look too bad, but if I can show, I accidentally did a left leaning increase. And this is the pretty one. The one that doesn't have any issues. As you can tell, a major difference. So yeah, I'm not gonna beat myself up about it too much because mistakes does happen. So yeah, but that is the progress on these. Right now I am knitting the foot of the sock because the toe is done. I increased to 34 per needle. So yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing now. I will have to say that what I don't like about 2 at a time socks is definitely the yarn management. It is a hassle. It is a very big hassle, and at some, like, throughout the whole process, I'm not really sure if it's worth it. I'm not sure if I like knitting 2 at a time or if I like just knitting 1 at a time. So as the process goes on, I can make a determination about that. But so far, I think I prefer to knit 1 at a time because it's less to focus on. So that is all. Oh, I have one last one. This is the blanket that I'm currently working on for the blanket drive. I was traveling, so I kind of have all the yarn that I wanted to use. Oh, and here is the package from Marianne. And she also gave me these cool yarn cutters that I've never seen before. And this is one of the hooks that I want. It's a Boy P16 hook or 11.5. But I am using the larger one, which I don't even think I have on me, which is really sad. I'm using the larger one, but I don't know where it is. Tragic. That's really tragic. Okay, it's all right. But it's gigantic and it's blue. That's all I can tell you. But hold on. Okay, this is the other one. It's not a sunburst granny square. It's literally just a circle. It's just a circle. I've been really into circles and like turning them into squares. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. And I'm definitely crocheting a lot tighter than I did with my sunburst granny square. And I like the look of it more because it doesn't look all floppy. So yeah, that's what this was the second one I was gonna have done, and this is 7 strands of yarn held together, and I'm crocheting it very tightly, and this is all using the Econo sparkly yarn, and then I have like one yarn that's not sparkly, that's the yellow in the blanket, the yellow and the pink. So yeah, that's officially all of the updates that I have for the updates. That's all of my works in progresses. It felt really good to go back to some of my older projects and start working on them. It was like a breath of fresh air, to be completely honest. And I'm definitely going to be working on them more. And I hope to have the granny triangle granny shawl completed by Sunday. So other than that, there's that's pretty much it for that. I do have something to say. I am selling a mermaid blanket that I made. I made it for a rally for my bro's school, but they end up not needing the blanket because they decided not, it wasn't a rally, it was an auction. They decided not to auction it off, and I personally don't have any need for it, so I am thinking of selling it. So this is kind of a what they call a UFO, an unfinished object. This is what it's looking like. This is the tail. I wish I could show it. This is the tail. Hold on, let me see. The tail is really pretty. Like, it's super duper pretty. Let me put it on my head. This is the tail. And this is the body of it. I use varying shades of blue, and it kind of looks like scales and such. So yeah, I'm thinking about selling it, but then like I was also thinking about keeping it, because if I keep it, I could take it to college with me. And I do have an adult size one that I made for, this is also an adult size one, but I have a bigger one that I made for myself using 2 strands of yarn together, and it's just really heavy. And I love the colors and the way it looks, but I'm not liking how heavy it is. So I was thinking of selling this one because I really don't have any use for it. But we'll see. We shall see. That's that. That's a really old project that I just wanted to pick up one day using all red heart yarn. I just don't know why. I just really wanted to work on it. But I shall finish it. It's just not tall enough. Oh, and it's in this Walmart bag. Like the same bag I bought the yarn in. So, put that away. And then I never showed you guys, like, I was making that baby blanket, but I decided to cast off because it was getting kind of tedious and I really wanted to see what it looked like. But it's nowhere near like big enough for anything really. Like a head wrap maybe, I don't know. So I'm definitely going to be, I bound off and everything, but I'm definitely going to be reattaching my yarn and making it bigger. But this was that. I like the way it feels. It's so flowy and ooh. So I'm definitely going to be reattaching this onto my needles so that I can make it longer. But I never showed you guys this again. This was like one of the biggest things that I was working on for a while. So yeah, that's this. Okay, that's literally, oops, all for my finished, well, some half finished objects and works in progresses, and for our yarn mill. So now I want to talk about the cowl because I think that's really important for anyone who doesn't know. Our cowl starts on June 28th and it runs all the way to July 28th, so you have a full month. Like I said earlier, I did decide to push it back because I think that makes the most sense. So that's when our crochet along starts and that's when it ends. And I also have done a video on the list of materials that you are going to need, and I will link all those videos down below in case anyone has missed it. Our platform for our crochet along will be via Ravelry once I figure out how to work it. I think that's what I'm going to do today before I have to, no, I don't have to pick up my mom today. Cool. I think that's exactly what I'm going to do today is I'm going to figure out Ravelry and I'm going to retype the pattern and add the adjustments as needed be. I got back from my testers and I got some great recommendations and I really appreciate it. So, oh my god, I just noticed my hair looks like crap. I really appreciate you guys so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So that's pretty much it for our cowl. I have all the rules in that video. Everything you need to know about the cowl is in the Fits Cowl rules, dates, and all that jazz. Again, of course, I will be purchasing things for the prize drawing, but if anyone can donate prizes into the drawing so we can have as many winners as possible, I would highly appreciate that. And thank you again, Shirley, for your prize donation. I really appreciate you. Secondly, the blanket drive. The blanket drive is still going on. It's not necessarily a drive. There isn't really a definite date where I want to stop it. I just want to get as many blankets done and as many blankets in as I can so that I can just divvy it up and start sending it out to hospitals. Like I said, 20 blankets per hospital is my goal. And if you want to know anything more about our blanket drive, I have an informational video about that as well, which I will link in the description box below. So now that that's out the way, I want to get into the anything else, and I would really like to talk to you guys about my school and me going back to school. So this isn't my first year of college. I did a year of college at Grand Canyon University in Arizona, so I know about time management. I know how it works. I'm definitely not new to going to college. So I also, in my Where Have I Been video, if you haven't seen, I touched on that subject and I talked about how I wanted to do my filming. And towards the end, I was like, oh yeah, hey, you have roommates. I'm not gonna necessarily let that stop me. Of course, I'm gonna be respectful to them and their time, but I'm not gonna let that get in the way of what I like to do. I also haven't been one to let my grades get bad, so I'm not really concerned about school when it comes to those aspects. So yeah, obviously I won't make it a goal to do uploading like 3 times a week like I can over the summer, but definitely I will be making the podcasts consistently. That's something I really like to do. And then I really want to get back into the Let's Talk videos, because that's where we really have our discussions on the channel. So yeah, I also had something really important to say and I totally forgot, but I wanted to tell you also about the great fiasco I had. So I purchased some yarn from Bad Wolf Girl Studios. That's Meg, and she is Bad Wolf Girl Sits and Knits here on YouTube. She has a knitting podcast. And I was so excited, but I didn't order her caking service, so it came to me in a hank. And I got the bright idea from someone to put the hank, unravel it, and put it on a chair, and then I'll be able to use my ball winder from there. But that's not how things work, and it's a big tangled mess. The fact that I kind of just shoved it on my bookcase, and I'm gonna forget about it until I work up the nerve to unravel it. So the hanks that I got from Shirley, I'm not gonna be touching those until I get one of those Swifter thingies or whatever they're called, and I can do it correctly, because that really hurt my heart. Like, when I tell you guys it's a tangled mess, it is a tangled mess, and I don't want to look at it. I don't want to touch it. It's gonna sit there for probably forever, and I'm just gonna order some more, and that's exactly how I'm feeling. So yeah, I can't believe I forgot what I wanted to say. I honestly think, oh, so, like I said earlier, I have been making garments because eventually I really do, want to become a designer, a crochet garment designer. And because I don't like writing patterns, I don't like reading patterns, what I'm gonna do is, once I perfect my garments, I am going to be selling them, but instead of in a pattern form, you will get a code to a private YouTube video that will that you can access at any time, and that's exactly how I'm going to be setting it up. I like filming tutorials more than I like writing patterns, so I think that that's really appropriate for me to do. So once this cowl, I'm doing free. You do not have to purchase this pattern for this cowl, but if you, for any future garment, like once I perfect this one, I will be selling it, and then I'll be obviously doing the tutorial. It will be listed under private, and not private, but only certain can view. And once you purchase it from me, you will get the link to the video where you will be able to access the tutorial and make it yourself. So that's something really big for me that I really want to start doing. So I have enough yarn to do that again, and I wrote down everything that I need to do differently, and I'm going to be attempting it again. Other than that, there isn't really anything else. Today was a short video. I want to thank everybody so much for your donations, and for sitting here with me at the Crochet Corner. And I will see you guys in our next video.